Hello students, this video is about question and answers of the class 6th history chapter, that is first farmers and herders. Before going to see the question and answers, we will see this chapter at a glance once. The first farmers and herders. First, the development of agriculture. How the development of agriculture has taken place. The emergence of agriculture was the most important development of the Neolithic age. Early man turned into a food producer from a food gatherer. Agriculture led to a settled life. Man moved into larger settlements. He cultivated the fields, grew crops, and stayed in one place. So at the Neolithic age, agriculture has been started. He did not have to move from place to place in search of food. He started living in huts made of dried leaves and mud. The first cereals to be grown were wheat and barley. Wheat and barley, these are the cereals. Later, he learned to domesticate animals like dog, goat, sheep and cattle. Agriculture was the first practiced by the people of the Near East, that is modern Iran, Iraq, Turkey, and the Levant, that is Lebanon, Palestine and southern Syria, as early as 7000 BC. So we'll see the picture of this. Agriculture, farming became a major occupation as humans gave their nomadic lifestyle and formed settlements. So during the Neolithic age, agriculture has been started. People started cultivating wheat and barley. Here is a figure of a timeline. So we'll see the timeline when this Neolithic, Chalcolithic periods have been started. So in this timeline, you can see that 0 is in the middle. To the right side, it is AD, and to the left side, it is BC. In the BC period itself, agriculture has been started from 8000 to 4000. It is a Neolithic period. And from 4500 BC to 3500 BC, it is a Chalcolithic period. So both Chalcolithic period and Neolithic periods are in BC itself. Now again we will see another picture here, that is about the agricultural tools from the Neolithic period. This picture is about a grinding stone and flint blades which may have been used for reaping. So these are used during the agricultural practices. Many Neolithic sites have been discovered where traces of wheat, millets, lentils, grains and animal bones have been found. These are some of the places: Mehergarh in Pakistan, Koldiva and Mahagara in Uttar Pradesh, Gufkral and Burjham in Kashmir, Hallur in Karnataka, Payampalli in Tamil Nadu. So here the Neolithic sites have been discovered. Now domestication of animals. Domestication of animals. The first domesticated animal was the dog. Dogs were most probably used for guarding caves and for pulling loads. Cattle, goat and sheep provided meat, milk and wool. The domestication of animals gave rise to pastoralism. But what is this pastoralism? So we'll see it. Pastoralism is a form of farming in which animals such as camels, goats, cattle, and sheep move in herds in search of fresh pastures and water. Some interesting things. Did you know? Domestication is a name given to a process in which people grow plants and look after animals. Again, in domestication, a selection of plants and animals are made by the people. Plants which are healthy, can bear and yield grains are chosen. People choose seeds from selected plants so that they could have new plants of the same healthy quality. So healthy plants are chosen for better yield. Gentle animals who could be trained were selected from the wild animals. Domestication began 12,000 years ago. So domestication began 12,000 years ago itself. Sheep and goats along with the dog were among the first animals to be domesticated. Next concept is about pottery. Pottery. In this, once early man learnt how to grow food, he also developed the art of storing food. He needed vessels for it. So, after producing the agricultural products, he started for storage of food. Now pottery has been developing. Neolithic man needed vessels to store food grains and water. So food grains and water both are to be stored. He learned to make clay pottery with his hands. Later these pots were decorated with various designs of animal figures on them. With the invention of potter's wheel, various types of pottery could be made easily and faster. So after the invention of this potter's wheel, pottery has been developed very faster and in easier way. This is figure of Chinese Neolithic pottery. So you can see this figure. It is a Chinese pottery which has been done in Neolithic period. That's why name has given as Chinese Neolithic pottery. This design is also super. Next we will see about invention of the wheel. Invention of the wheel, it is one of the major achievements of the Neolithic period. One of the major achievements of the Neolithic period, that is invention of the wheel. The potter's wheel enabled him to make pots of different shapes and sizes. The use of wheels made transportation easier and faster. The invention of wheel led to invention of carts and then to bullock-driven carts. Man could now move heavy loads easily and go from one place to another faster. Invention of wheel led to invention of spindle wheels for weaving cloth of wool and cotton. Invention of wheel led to invention of spindle wheels for weaving cloth of wool and cotton. Various types of pottery enabled early men to store grains and seeds for the next season. The invention of wheel quickened the march of civilization. So we will see the different stages of invention of the wheel. Here stage 1, it is a roller. During the stage 2, it is a sledge. Stage 3, stage 4, stage 5, stage 6. So total 6 stages are there for the invention of the wheel. During the stage 1, it is a sledge on roller which has become grooved with use. In stage 2, wheels and axle in one piece, axle fixed by pegs. In stage 3, wheels joined to axle, axle fixed into crude bearing. So you can see the pictures of this, how the wheels are invented stage by stage. After this stage 3, now we can see stage 4, next stage 5. At last, during the stage 6, wheel was invented. Now next concept is about Neolithic tools. Tools of the Neolithic period included agricultural implements like sickles, digging sticks, hoes, and ground tools like the mortar and pestles. Polished stone tools with fine cutting edge were used for grinding grains and other products. Some tools were made of bones too. Stone axes found from Ballari district, that is Karnataka, and Santal Paraganas in Jharkhand also belong to this period, that is Neolithic period. These are the polished stone tools of the Neolithic period, which are made up of bones or stones. Now, findings at various Neolithic sites in India. So, some of the Neolithic sites are present in India. So, we will see this table. Neolithic sites, that is Mahagara, Koldiva, Chirand, Mehergarh, Burjam, Gufkral, Hallur, Payampalli. In Mehergarh, marks of cattle hoof and remains of grains were rice. In Koldiva, location is Uttar Pradesh, remains of bones are bone fragments of animals and grains are rice. Bihar, that is Chirand, is bones of buffalo and ox, grains were wheat, barley and peas. And in Mehergarh, that is Pakistan, bones of sheep, goat, cattle and grains found were wheat and barley. Burjam, that is Kashmir Valley, bones of buffalo, cattle, dog, sheep, goat were found and grains were lentil and wheat. Gufkral, that is Kashmir Valley, here grains are found as lentil and wheat. Hallur, that is in Karnataka, here bones of cattle, pig, goat and sheep were found. Grains were millets. Payampalli, that is in Tamil Nadu, here bones of cattle, pig and sheep were found and grains were millets, black gram. So these are some of the Neolithic sites in India. Now we will see life of the people, that is tribes, how people were lived. Early man moved in groups to protect himself from wild animals. His group consisted of men, women, children and domesticated animals, and his settlements were called villages. The people living in these villages formed a tribe. Every member of the tribe shared and divided the work. They also got time to take part in singing, dancing and other recreational activities. Tribes are formed by families living together in small settlements. For 2 to 3 generations, they are usually related to each other. The men of the tribe looked after hunting, gathering, herding and fishing. The women did most of the agricultural work. They prepared food, looked after the plants and harvested grain, Both men and women looked after the animals. They cleaned and milked them. Now we'll see the archaeological evidences during the Neolithic period. The first Neolithic site to be discovered in India was Burjhom in Kashmir Valley. Burjhom in Kashmir. Unlike our present day homes, which are above the ground level, these houses were below the ground. Neolithic sites were below the ground. The people dug pits into the ground with the help of stone tools. The pits were narrow at the top and wide at the base. Some of the deeper pits had a few steps leading down. So some of the pits also have steps. Living in these pits was the only way to keep themselves safe and warm. So like our houses, there were pits to keep them safe and warm from wild animals and cold. But how do we know if men actually lived in these pits? Ash, charcoal and pieces of pottery have been found in them. Some of the pits had ovens, that is chulhas, made of stone on which people cooked their food. A stone used for grinding corn was also found in one of them. Many other sites have been discovered in Kashmir. They are Begagund, Olchibag, Pampur, Panjgom and Bra. So these are the sites found in Kashmir Valley. Now Neolithic burials. The burials were usually carried out under house floors or in compounds. The bodies of the dead men were smeared with red ochre. Early man believed in life after death. Many items were placed along with the body. Animals were sometimes buried along with humans and sometimes alone. They included dogs, cattle, buffaloes, goats and sheep. Now you can see the Mehergar burial. Here dead men were buried along with the food grains and even the domesticated animals also. The next concept is Neolithic paintings. People of this age painted on caves, walls, rocks and slabs of stone. A slab of stone found in Burjhom shows a hunting scene. Its picture is about hunting scene. It depicts two hunters hunting a deer. One hunter holds a spear and other a bow and arrow. So this is the hunting scene which is found in Burjhom, that is in Kashmir Valley. Now we'll see about the Chalcolithic age. So this period is between 4500 BC and 3500 BC. Chalcolithic age. It is referred to as the Chalcolithic age from 4500 BC to 3500 BC. The word is derived from the Greek word chalkos, that is copper, and lithos means stone. Chalcolithic also known as the stone copper age period. During the Chalcolithic period, man used tools and vessels made of copper and stone. Copper tools were stronger than stone, and man could not cut down crops and trees faster. Other objects found in copperware, bangles, beads, earrings, finger rings, fish hooks, etc. And this picture is about pot in Chalcolithic period. So which is made up of a copper. So after this we will see some of the case studies also. Here case study 1 is given. So what is this case study? Just we will go through it once. This is about a Mehergar. Mehergar is in Pakistan. So this picture is depicting about house in Mehergar. It is located in Bolan Pass, was one of the earliest pastoral sites of the Neolithic period. It was here that wheat and grains were grown in abundant quantity and cattle and sheep were tamed to provide milk and meat. Important findings include beads, pendants, ornaments and semi-precious stones. Terracotta art developed. Female figurines and bulls were found at Kuli and Naushaw. Numerous burials have been found with baskets, stones, bone tools, beads, bangles and pendants. Sometimes artifacts showing animal sacrifices have been found with burial of males. In one of burial, a goat is buried along with a dead person. This was meant to serve as food in next world. Ornaments of seashell, limestone and lapis lazuli have been found along with figurines of women and animals. A stone axe was discovered in a burial and many more were obtained from the surface. Remains of houses in square or rectangular blocks have been also found. Each house had 4 or more rooms. In this case study, we will be seeing Mehergar in Pakistan and some of the pictures that depicts clay vase of Mehergar, Pakistan, and this is about house in Mehergar. So these were sites found here. Again, this is the case study 2, that is about the northeast. In the northeast, archaeologists have found signs of Neolithic people living in Daujali Heding in Assam. Many tools and implements made of stones and ceramics also been found. It indicates that people used grinders, mortars and pestles for grinding and cooking food. A large number of pots have also been found. Other sites where settlements have been seen are Manipur and Tripura. Jade and other precious stones which were common in China were also found here. Next we will see about points to remember in this chapter, that is about the farmers and herders. First point is on early man became a food producer from a food gatherer. So first he used to be a food gatherer, now he became a food producer. And the Neolithic period was characterized by the development of agriculture, and people during the Chalcolithic period used tools made of copper and stone. Archaeological evidences include pottery tools, pit houses and burial sites. And the invention of the wheel was a remarkable achievement of a Neolithic period. And next we will see the glossary. What is this Chalcolithic period? The Chalcolithic period is the period between 4500 BC to 3500 BC when tools made of copper and stones were used. Neolithic period is about a men began to grow crops and domesticate animals, and pastoralism is the form of farming in which animals move in herds in search of food and water. Pit dwellings are the underground houses used for living by some Neolithic people. Now we will see the question and answers of this chapter. First is multiple choice questions. First one, a man became a food producer from a food gatherer during which age? Paleolithic age, Mesolithic age, Neolithic age, modern age. Answer is Neolithic age. During the Neolithic age, a man became a food producer from a food gatherer. Second question, which of the following was not an important invention or discovery of Neolithic age? Invention of wheel, discovery of agriculture, discovery of fire, and domestication of animals. Here, option C, that is discovery of fire, was not an important invention of Neolithic age, whereas all these are important. Third one, which were the first animals to be domesticated by Neolithic people? Sheep, goats, dogs, all of these. Answer is dogs. Dogs were the first animals to be domesticated by Neolithic people. Fourth one, which of the following Neolithic sites is located in Kashmir? Mehrgarh, Burjhom, Chirand, Koldiva. It is Burjhom. Burjhom is located in Kashmir. Answer is option B. Now question number 5. Which of the following statement is incorrect? Option A, early man believed in life after death. B, animals such as goat, dog and sheep were buried along with the dead. C, these were supposed to be used in the next world. D, early man did not believe in life after death. So answer is early man did not believe in life after death. So this statement is incorrect. Sixth question. The period between 4500 BC and 3500 BC is referred to as. Is it Neolithic age or Chalcolithic age or Paleolithic age or Mesolithic age? So period between 4500 BC to 3500 BC is option B, that is Chalcolithic age. Seventh one, during the Chalcolithic period, tools and vessels were made of copper, stone, bronze or both A and B. Answer is option D, that is both A and B. Here tools were made of both copper and stone were used. Now match the following: peat houses, Chalcolithic period, Neolithic site, jade, potter's wheel. So you have to match with the right side column. Peat houses were underground houses. Peat houses were underground houses, and Chalcolithic period is about copper vessels. Neolithic site, it is found in Burjhom. Fourth one, jade, it is a precious stone. Jade is a precious stone. And potter's wheel, it is about pots of different sizes. Pots of different sizes. Now we will see very short answer type questions. After this, match the following. So very short answer type questions. First question is, what was the most important development of Neolithic age? What was the most important development of Neolithic age? Answer, the emergence of agriculture was the most important development of the Neolithic age. What was the most important development of Neolithic age? The emergence of agriculture was the most important development of the Neolithic age. The emergence of agriculture was the most important development of the Neolithic age. Second question. Name two important archaeological sites of Neolithic age. So it has become Neolithic India. So correct it as Neolithic age. Answer is Burjhom in Kashmir and Chirand in Bihar. Name two important archaeological sites of Neolithic age, that is Burjhom in Kashmir and Chirand in Bihar. So these are the important archaeological sites of Neolithic age. Third question. Which were the first cereals, that is cereals, cereals to be grown by early man? It is the first cereals to be grown by early men were wheat and barley, or you can say that wheat and barley were the first cereal. cereals. It must be cereals, not serials. So wheat and barley were the first cereals to be grown by early man. Fourth question. Which were the first animals to be domesticated by early man? Which were the first animals to be domesticated by early man? Answer is dog. So dog was the first animal to be domesticated by early man. Dog was the first animal to be domesticated by early man. Which were the first animals to be domesticated by early man? Dog was the first animal to be domesticated by early man. Now, fifth question. What is pastoralism? What is pastoralism? Answer is pastoralism is a form of farming. Pastoralism is a form of farming in which animals such as camels, goats, cattle and sheep were reared for milk, meat and skin. Pastoralism is a form of farming in which animals such as camels, goats, cattle and sheep are reared for milk. Pastoralism is a form of farming in which animals such as camels, goats, cattle and sheep are reared for milk, meat and skin. Next we will see short answer type questions. First question is, what does the burial practice of Neolithic people tell us? What does the burial practice of Neolithic people tell us? Answer is, during Neolithic age, the burials were usually dug out under house floors. Burials were usually dug out under house floors or in compounds. The bodies of the dead men were smeared with red ochre. Early man believed in life after death. During Neolithic age, the burials were usually dug out under house floors or in compounds. The bodies of dead men were smeared with red ochre. Early man believed in life after death. So many items were placed along with the body. Animals were sometimes buried along with the humans and sometimes alone. They included dogs, cattle, buffaloes, goats and sheep. So early man believed in life after death. Many items were placed along with the body. Animals were sometimes buried along with humans and sometimes alone. Animals were sometimes buried along with humans and sometimes alone. Second question, how did the invention of wheel benefit early man? How did the invention of wheel benefit early man? Answer, invention of wheel enabled the people to make pots. Invention of wheel enabled the people to make pots of different shapes and sizes. How did the invention of wheel benefit early man? Invention of wheel enabled the people to make pots of different shapes and sizes, which helped in storage of grains, even milk and water. Which helped in storage of grains, milk and water. Use of wheels made transportation easier and faster. Use of wheels made transportation easier and faster. So this is about a benefit of invention of wheel. And another benefit is, by the invention of wheel also led to the invention of spindle wheels for weaving cloth of wool and cotton. Invention of wheel also led to invention of spindle wheels for weaving cloth of wool and cotton. How did the invention of wheel benefit early man? So people used to make pots of different shapes and sizes for storage of grains, milk and water, and it is helped in transportation and invention of spindle wheels. Third question is, where have the Neolithic tools been found in India? Where have the Neolithic tools been found in India? Answer, Neolithic tools have been found from Ballari district, that is in Karnataka, and also Santal Parganas in Jharkhand. Santal Parganas in Jharkhand. So Neolithic tools have been found from Ballari district and Santal Parganas. Fourth question, why did the early man live in groups? Why did the early man live in groups? Answer is, early man lived in groups to protect himself from wild animals. The groups consisted men, women, children and domesticated animals. Early man lived in groups to protect himself and also from wild animals. To protect himself and also from the wild animals, he lived in groups. These groups consisted of men, women, children and domesticated animals. Why did the early man live in groups? Early man lived in groups to protect himself from wild animals. The groups consisted of men, women, children and domesticated animals. Fifth question, why were the animals buried with the dead? Why were the animals buried with the dead? Answer is, early man believed in life after death. animals were buried along with the humans so that they could be useful for the dead in the next world. Early man believed in life after death. Animals were buried along with humans. Animals were buried along with humans so that they could be useful. They could be useful for the dead in the next world. In the next world. Now long answer type questions. In that first one is, how did the invention of wheel quicken the march of human civilization? Explain. How did the invention of wheel quicken the march of human civilization? Explain. Answer. Invention of wheel in the Stone Age led to the invention of bullock cart and potter's wheel. Invention of wheel in the Stone Age led to the invention of bullock cart and potter's wheel. People would easily move and carry goods from one place to another. People would easily move and carry goods from one place to another. This helped in trade and commerce. Later on, bicycles and motorcycles like scooter, motorcycles, cars, trucks, buses, rail and aeroplanes were invented. Later on, bicycles, motor vehicles like scooter, motorcycle, cars, trucks, buses, rails and aeroplanes were invented. Next question. Describe the pit houses of Burjam. Describe the pit houses of Burjam. Answer. Pit houses were underground houses in Burjam. Pit houses were underground houses in Burjam, that is in Kashmir. Burjam, Kashmir. The people dug pits into the ground with the help of stone tools. The people dug pits into the ground with the help of stone tools. The pits were narrow at the top. And wide at the base. The pits were narrow at the top and wide at the base. Some of the deeper pits had a few steps leading down. Some of the deeper pits had a few steps leading down. Living in these pits was the only way to keep themselves warm and safe from wild animals. Living in these pits was the only way to keep themselves warm and safe from wild animals. Ash, charcoal, and pieces of pottery have been found in these pit houses. Ash, charcoal, and pieces of pottery have been found in pit houses. Some of the pits had ovens, that is chulhas, made of stone, on which people cooked their food. A stone used for grinding corn was also found in one of them. Now third question, bring out the main aspects of the Chalcolithic age. Answer, the period between 4500 BC and 3500 BC is referred to as Chalcolithic age. The period between 4500 BC and 3500 BC is referred to as Chalcolithic age. It is also known as Copper age. During the Chalcolithic period, man used tools and vessels made of copper and stone. Copper tools were stronger than stone. And man could cut down crops and trees faster. Other objects found in copper were bangles, beads, earrings, finger rings, fish hook, etc. Other objects found in copper were bangles, beads, earrings, finger rings, fish hooks, etc. Fourth question, describe the effect of development of agriculture on human civilization. Answer, discovery of agriculture was the most important development of the Neolithic age. Of the Neolithic age. Early man turned into a food producer from a food gatherer. Early man turned into a food producer from a food gatherer. He cultivated the fields. He cultivated the fields, grew crops, and began living a settled life. Living a settled life. This led to the development of tribes and villages. So, discovery of agriculture was the most important development of the Neolithic age, and it also led to the development of tribes and villages. Thank you for watching the video.